What's up? What's going on? Hide and read, home base, in the hideaway. Here we are. Once again. Yesterday I had a video for you guys explaining the high points of Vinland Saga. I'm pretty sure most of my subscribers either have never read manga or are completely uninterested. I'm aware of this. But this is the I think you should read, or I forget, I titled it something a little bit differently. Um, yeah, and I got this idea from Kevin Toll, and I'm going to do another one today. Um, yeah, we don't schedule things here. Sorry, I just, as I please, I will make these videos. And so here we go. This is another manga series. This one is called Parasyte. It's, I think we could classify this more horror, like sci-fi horror kind of genre. And in this one, a just very normal, typical high school student, Shinichi, he, in his sleep, is infected with a parasite from outer space. Now, this parasite, if it had done its job correctly, would have taken over his whole body. And, yeah. Oh, look at him. Here he is now. Cute little guy, right? But something goes terribly wrong for the parasite, and he can only control this young man's hand, basically his arm. Now, over the rest of the world, these parasites that have come from space and filtered into our atmosphere, they're infecting different living beings, humans, sometimes animals, and yeah, for the most part, to the success of the parasites. And these parasites are looking to feed on human beings. It's kind of explained that the parasite is like a natural remedy to mankind for planet Earth. Cool enough, right? Okay, so this parasite that infects this kid, he's not able to completely infect him, but he requires uh, this young man to survive. Like, that's how he gets all his nutrients. He's a parasite, but he can't control his brain. So this parasite, being the very practical parasite that he is, decides, well, he doesn't decide anything. He's just very upfront and practical. He tells the host, uh, you know, if I had it my way, I'd be in complete control. You wouldn't exist right now. But clearly, that's not what's going on, and I need you to survive. Without you, I die. So now we're one. And so they have this very like intimate, but is it toxic, or I'm not sure. They have a very interesting relationship, and this comes up a lot of different times. And then you'll see different kinds of parasites, and so basically, this parasite has to betray his whole uh, species in order to preserve himself, because that's actually what he cares about. He doesn't really, he's a parasite. He doesn't care about the other parasites so much. He just, he knows that he needs to survive and do what he needs to do. And so eventually it gets to the point where um, the main character and his parasite are just going out and battling the different parasitic entities. And these entities look like humans. They're kind of like dead in the eyes a little bit, but they look like humans until it's time for battle, or time to feed on human beings. And at first, it's just like a couple people here and there, but as the story progresses, more and more parasites appear, and the parasites are infecting different people, like school teachers, his friends, and family members. And he actually has to go and, you know, kill a lot of these people because they're not really people anymore. They're infected with these parasites, and the parasitic transformations are so cool. Maybe I could find one real quick for you. I'm just gonna keep talking. The the main characters, their heads will um, like split open into pieces, and then they uh, yeah, they're just like this big wormy kind of parasite thing, and they can kind of change their form into like different types of density. So they it kind of comes across as like sword fighting. Um, but yeah, there's lots of here's one, so you could get an idea of what these humanoid parasite things look like. That's like their desired form, basically. And yeah, it's so cool. Um, if any of this sounds familiar, maybe you're around my age and you were lucky enough to watch Toonami when you got home from school. And this was one of the animes, Parasyte. And I watched that when I was much younger, and I read the manga maybe 10 years later or so. And I think I got to like around volume 4 before I realized, why do I know this story? And yeah, that's why, because I had watched the cartoon um, as a child, and I really loved it and kind of forgot about it. How much other stuff did I forget? But this series is what sold me into manga. At the time, I was like, do I want to read comics? Do I want to read manga? And I just couldn't figure out what was I gonna be into. I'm not sure, but yeah, after I read this, I really took off. Who's the author? Hitoshi Iwaaki. Um, yeah, I love Parasyte. It's so cool. Like the relationship dynamics between the host and the parasite is awesome. The battle scenes are amazing. There's lots of different there's a bit of like detective kind of stuff going on because you have to figure out who are the parasites, and you know, they all need to hide themselves basically, because after a while different organizations realize what's going on and they start to hunt down these different parasites. So you know, they gotta figure things out. Yeah, and it gets kind of it gets rough. It gets rough, especially towards the end. You know, when his family members and stuff are subject to these parasites. Um, yeah, there's really no easy answers in here, and uh, man, I've read this one like 3 times. I watched the anime at least 3 times. I just really love Parasite, man. Big fan of this one. Yeah, check it out, guys. If I rated it, it would just get all the stars available. So there you go. This one got me through some hard times, for sure. Might have to revisit that one. Alright, guys. Peace.